Hello everyone. Welcome to this first video for Class 1 of the EC2 class in the Spring 2020 semester. So this video is in place of the first hour of our first class, so the March 17th class from 12 to 1 p.m. So I'll make another video for the second hour, so the 1 to 2 p.m. time. So this is just video 1 of class 1. My name is Paul Surratt, and I will be your instructor for this course. So let's take a look at the contents for the first video. In this first video, I will try to cover 4 different areas. So the first thing I will talk about is the coronavirus and how that has affected our classes this semester. I'll also introduce you very briefly to Blackboard, which is where you will find all the content for this class. Next, we'll look at the syllabus and the schedule for this course. Third, we will look at a student participation form. So this is a form you will use often in this class. And finally, I will talk about the homework for this first video of class 1. So let's get started with the coronavirus. As you all know, this coronavirus has made our first few weeks postponed. So the first 2 weeks of this semester are starting from March 16th to March 27th. So you can see that in the red box. For these 2 weeks, we will be doing online content. So online classes, videos like this, and content that you can find on Blackboard. Now, this may continue into April next month. We're not sure yet how long we will have to do these online classes, but for now, it is set for the first 2 weeks of the semester. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens with the corona and how the classes will continue after these 2 weeks, if we will go into the classroom or if we will continue with these online classes. So I will definitely let you know what's happening as soon as we find out. Okay, Blackboard. Blackboard is the LMS system that you will use to access content for this course. Right now, there's not much on there. I put a textbook notice as well as the delivery form that you can use to have the textbook delivered to your home if you want to order it that way. I've also just included the first class content. So I will upload more content onto Blackboard as the semester advances. So Blackboard, very important for these online classes. That's where all the class content can be found. Okay, so what is EC2? Well, EC stands for English Communication. And for this EC2 course, the focus is on developing your English communication abilities. What does that mean? Well, we will look at 4 skills, the 4 main skills in language, which are listening, reading, speaking, and writing. Using your textbook as well as different activities, we will try to improve your listening, reading, speaking, and writing abilities. So for the listening and reading, these are what we call passive skills. These are skills where the information comes to you, whereas the speaking and writing abilities are more active. This is where you must produce the language yourself. So we will work on all 4 skills in this course. Your instructor for this course, well, that's me. My name is Paul Surratt, and here's the information you need to know about me, my contact information. You can find me in Building 4 on campus on the first floor. Building 4 is the same building where your classroom will be located. So pretty easy to find. If you want to talk to me, see me, you can find me in my office there. My office hours will be on Mondays from 1 to 2 p.m. Or if you have another class at that time, or you want to meet me at a different time on a different day, you can always contact me and make an appointment. The office phone number is there. However, it's not really useful since this phone number is the main office phone number, right? It's not my phone number. So this is just the office's phone number. The best way to communicate with me would be through my email. There it is, ttpaulsurette@gmail.com. Or you can also use Blackboard to send me a message. So there you go, contact information. Next, the textbook. The textbook for this class will be International Express, and it's the elementary level textbook. Be sure to get this textbook for this class. You need the student's book. And in this class, we will cover units 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So this is the second half of the book. Of course, the EC1 course, the previous course, dealt with units 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we are continuing this textbook in EC2 in units 6 to 10. So, of course, this includes lots of listening, reading, speaking, and writing activities, as well as exercises that we will do in this course. And interestingly, it also includes a review section for each unit. So these review sections will be useful for you to check your progress and review the information and topics that we covered in class. In this class, we will start using the book in week number 2. So for week 1, we don't need the textbook. We will do some other things to begin the course, but starting in week 2, you will definitely need a textbook. So you can choose to buy a new textbook or buy a used textbook from someone that's already used it. And if you do that, if you use a used textbook, a good idea would be to erase the information that is written down by the previous owner. Okay, so if you're using a used textbook, just remove all the writing that the previous person that had the book wrote in there. Okay, so the textbook, there it is, International Express Elementary Student Book. Next, a short description of this course. This course will focus on developing several areas of students' English communication ability that have been highlighted as being useful in the professional arena by employers in Korea. While the textbook will serve as a guide to frequently occurring English topics, vocabulary, expressions, and grammar, an emphasis on language skills that are transferable to the workforce will be covered and assessed in this class. So the idea here is to learn some English that will be useful for you when you go on to get a job in Korea or elsewhere. Okay, the objectives now. In this course, students will develop their fluency and accuracy in English to prepare for gainful employment. Now, more specifically, speakers, meaning you, the student, will learn to, and you can see several topics that we will cover. So one is to talk about cities, changes, trends, career paths, and other socially meaningful topics. So these are all the different topics in your textbook. 2, use comparative and superlative forms. We'll start covering that in week 2. 3, correctly use past, present, and future tenses, as well as various modals. So these are the different verb forms that we need to know to use English. 4, be familiar with expressions used in social settings. 5, use appropriate telephone skills. Again, we will start that in Unit 6. 6, make offers, invitations, and recommendations. 7, ask for and give information, so making questions, answering questions. And 8, you will give a short presentation in English in this course. Finally, English pronunciation will be explored in preparation for that presentation. So a short list here of the objectives for this course. Now for the requirements. Requirements means the things that you need to do in this course. So this course will be conducted solely in English, and students will be expected to use only English in class. Therefore, the use of Korean in class is, of course, strongly discouraged. English usage in class is the best way for you to improve your language skills in English. So try not to speak Korean or whatever your first language is. Try to use only English as much as possible. Also, students will be expected to bring their required materials every class and be prepared to begin class on time. Students will be required to complete one written assignment and one presentation in this class, but no other homework will be given. So there are 2 main assignments for this class. One is a written one. It's going to be a Q&A assignment. I'll talk about that in a few minutes. And the other one will be the presentation. This will be an individual presentation that you will give to the class in June, near the end of the semester. But I'm not going to give any other homework. Now, of course, for the first few weeks with this coronavirus, the homework will be, or the classwork will be done at home. So this is not really homework. This is, I'll call it classwork that you will have to do for each class. But I won't be giving any other homework other than that. There will also be a midterm exam and a final exam. And finally, student participation is expected and will be considered, right, for final grades. So midterm exam, that'll be in week 8 of the semester, and then a final exam, which will be probably in week 16. Participation is important, so in-class participation for the online classes that we're doing now, the participation will be the work that I give you for each class. All right, policies. There are basically only 4 policies or rules for this class. Let's go through each one. Attendance and punctuality. More than 10 absences will result in the failure of this course. So you really need to come to class. You will lose 2 points for each absence and 1 point for coming to class late. Therefore, students should make every effort to be on time. If a student is late, it is the student's responsibility to inform the instructor to be marked late and not absent. So, if you come late to class, right, this happens sometimes, then you need to come and see me at the end of class and tell me that you are not absent, that you were late, and I will change your attendance on my attendance sheet. So make sure to do that if you come late. Excused absences. Okay, for attendance purposes, students missing a class must submit an excused absence form. So in Korean, that's called the 공결 확인서, from your own department in a timely manner. It is the student's responsibility to keep up to date with class material, content, and assignments should a class be missed. So if you are sick, for example, and you can't come to class, I understand, but you will need to give me this 공결 확인서 form from your own department to not be penalized for attendance. And if you do miss a class, then you really need to try to keep up to date with all the content that you may have missed that day. So you can come and see me, you can talk to your classmates, find out what you missed if you are absent from class. Now, used textbooks, if you want to use a used textbook, just make sure to erase the previous owner's answers so you can participate actively in various activities and exercises in the textbook. So no problem if you want to use a used textbook, that's fine. However, you really need to take time to take out the previous person's answers from that textbook. You need a clean textbook with no answers so that you can participate appropriately in class. Finally, smartphones. Smartphones may be used under specific course-related circumstances only. So what does this mean? This means that sometimes using a smartphone in class is fine, right? It's okay. You can use a smartphone, for example, to look up a word in a dictionary online. You can use your phone to maybe take a picture of something that's class related. Maybe I'm doing a PowerPoint, or maybe I'm writing on the board and you'd like to take a picture of that. That's fine, right? That's great. However, there are some ways in which smartphones are not to be used. And the biggest example is chatting or using Kakao in class. So this is not okay. You need to do that only before or after class. So you can use your phone in class, but make sure it is under course-related circumstances. All right, next, grading. Excuse me. Students need to attend more than 2/3 of the total number of classes in order to take the final exam and pass the course. So this is the standard rule for Hanyang for these EC classes, right? You need to attend at least 2/3 of the total number of classes. Grading will be based on a normal curve, and that means 30% of the class can receive an A, 40% of the students can receive a B, and the final 30% will receive either a C, a D, or an F. Again, this is the Hanyang grading curve. It's not my curve. It's not my decision. This is out of my control. I must follow this for this course. Now, what will you be graded on? Well, it's simple. There are the 5 different things that I will be looking at for your grade. The first one is your attendance and participation. This is 15% of your final grade. So if you come to class, you do the work, you participate well, this is 15%. Next is assignment number 1. This will be a Q&A assignment, which will be 10% of your grade. This will happen in week number 4. I will give you that assignment where we will learn how to make WH questions in English, and you will have a written assignment to do, and that's 10%. Third, assignment number 2 is a presentation. Now, as I mentioned, this will be an individual presentation, so that means you and only you will present in front of the class, and that will be 15% of your grade. This will happen in June, so this will happen right before the end of the semester. After the midterm, we will start learning about how to give a good presentation in English, and then you'll have time to prepare for your presentation. Finally, we have 2 exams in this course. So the midterm exam will happen in week 8 of the semester, and the final exam will happen during the final week, week 16, and they are both worth 30% each. So there you go. Those are the 5 assessment pieces for this course. Now for the schedule. I've only included here in this video the first 4 weeks of the semester. We don't really know how long this coronavirus will affect our semester. We don't really know how long we will be doing these online classes. So that may affect our schedule. If there are any changes, I will be sure to let you know. But for now, we can know the first 4 weeks of this semester and the topics we will be covering. So week 1, we're covering the syllabus, and we'll have a teacher Q&A and talk about first meetings. So that's this week. Week 2, we'll start Unit 6, and we will continue Unit 6 into Week 3. And then in Week 4, as I mentioned, will be the preparation for your assignment, right? So WH questions, possibly some of Unit 7, and then I will give you your Q&A assignment. Okay. If you'd like to see the full schedule, you can access the syllabus and schedule on Blackboard. I've uploaded that, and you can download it and check it out. Okay, next, the participation form. Now, this is a form that we will use once we get back into the real classroom. I will use this self-evaluation record to allow you to give yourself a score for the participation component of your final grade. Now, this is how it works. You will give yourself a point for each of the following actions in each class. So you can see here 5 different questions. Let's look at each question. Number 1, did I come to class on time and avoid leaving the classroom during class? So you ask yourself that. Did I come to class on time? Did I avoid leaving the classroom during the class time? If your answer is yes, then you would give yourself 1 point. Number 2, did I bring my textbook and required materials to class? So once again, did you do this number 2? If you say yes, then you'd give yourself another point. 3, did I listen to Paul carefully and avoid using my phone in class? So using your phone in a wrong way, of course, right? If you didn't do that and you listened to me carefully, then you'd give yourself another point. 4, did I answer a question from Paul voluntarily? Now, this is maybe the most difficult one to do. Every class I will ask lots of questions, and I'd like you to try to voluntarily, right, on your own, try to answer the question, right? Raise your hand, tell me what you think the answer is. This is good participation. And finally, number 5, did I try to speak mostly in English in class and encourage others around me to participate? If your answer is yes, you would then, of course, give yourself another point. Now, below that, you can see this is where we will write down each class's score. So first you'll write the date of that class, and then below that you will write your score, right? 4 points, 5 points, however many points you give yourself for that day. Now, we are only going to begin using this participation form once we return to the classroom, whenever this coronavirus settles down. But you can see, I can tell you now, on the top right corner, there's a box there where I will ask you to put a picture of yourself. I will collect these forms each and every class. So at the end of class, I will give you this form, you'll fill in your score, and then you will return it to me. And the next class, once again, give it to you, fill in your score, give it to me. So we'll do this every class to keep track of your participation. Okay, we're almost to the end of this first video. First, your homework for this first video. Follow these steps. Find the homework on Blackboard. This homework consists of questions about the syllabus as explained in this video. Open the homework from Blackboard and answer the questions. You should complete this homework by Friday, March 20th. All right, now in the next video, so this is for the second hour of our first class. In the next video, you will get to know me by asking questions in English, as well as learn about what to say and what to do when meeting an English speaker for the first time. There will also be some classwork posted on Blackboard for you to complete for the second video. So until then, see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.